Hi everyone, welcome to Nice Driving 28, where we also include some nice riding. It's a simple task of not arriving at the same point at the same time. Even if you've got priority. This situation nearly went wrong because two road users were going to arrive at the same point at the same time. It was a good job the lorry driver didn't take moving to the left as a given. Great job. If you're ever in doubt, stay where you are. Let's have a look at this clip and see whether that same mindset applies here. Is there a conflict of space? Yes. And who's going to be the one to fix it?
When I spoke to her last September, I will say, it was incredibly challenging to interrupt her at all. And I did on a few occasions. The clip we saw wasn't the whole film. So it's
pretty obviously, both of those road users couldn't occupy the same space at the same time. My viewer wishes to take the second turn on the left, which is over here. Look at this cyclist. My viewer quickly works out, even though they have priority over the cyclist at the moment, as soon as they're past this first exit road and turning left into the next, the cyclist going straight on will have priority. So there's a conflict of space again. Both road users could be arriving at the same point at the same time. So my viewer slows down until it's fixed. It's that simple. The cyclist also susses out this situation quickly and sits still. Great job by two good road users. More conflict of road space, but this time there's only one of the road users who can do anything about it. The others don't seem to be too interested. This is also some really good nighttime footage from a VFO dashcam. If you're thinking of upgrading, please check out the links in the description, use the code Ashley and you can save yourself a further 5%. Thanks for your support. When people find themselves in the wrong lane, there's a conflict of road space also. Do you make it worse or do you make it better? My viewer spots this situation with the yellow van quite nicely, and then just slows down and lets things happen. Doing things in this manner allows everyone to flow quickly, and the van driver was appreciative. This clip's been sent in by my crane driving viewer Phil, and there's some lovely thoughtful driving by the driver of this van here to the left. But it's Phil who does the first nice deed. He slows down and allows the van driver past. A big crane like this isn't going to be making a massive amount of progress on roads of this nature. So it's always an idea to hold back and let people pass when it's appropriate. But it's a couple of minutes further up the road that this van driver that Phil's been following does something amazing. Look how sharp this corner is, and think about how difficult it is to negotiate a vehicle of this size round here. But what if there were vehicles coming the other way? Again, it's another potential conflict of road space. People could be arriving at the same point at the same time. But there's no one coming. Look up into the distance though. Guess who's held back all the traffic? And don't forget, that's to aid them also. What a lovely clip. Thanks a lot for sending in, Phil. Safe travels. I think by now you'll be spotting the theme of this video. And have you already sussed out that it's the dark blue car that's going to be the problem? My viewer has, and made this situation into a non-event. Perfect. People don't always wish to use a portion of road space purposefully. And you have to be ready for it.
I knew that was coming. I was going to say, I'm not surprised.
Even when you have priority, you can't continue if you're arriving at the same point. Just slow down like my viewer did, and again, make it into a non-event. Two road users coming in the opposite directions on a single track road obviously can't use the same space. Someone should do something about it, but both should be ready. My viewer's turn this time. This clip's not from the UK, so it's a perfect job to pull up in the space on the right hand side. In the UK this might also be possible, but consider waiting opposite this space also. You can also apply this same mindset to dealing with emergency service vehicles, but you should always be the one trying to accommodate. The move to the left was also a lovely piece of communication from my viewer. I'm sure it helped the driver of the ambulance. My viewer was also lovely and patient, holding back and letting the lorry driver finish. We've seen this junction a number of times on the channel, so this must happen quite often. Although there's no law to say you have to let the lorry go first, I would have done exactly the same as my viewer. If this would have been a car, you both could have used the bridge, but because it's a bigger vehicle, you can't both use the same space. You're not time restricted driving your vehicle, but lorry drivers are. Let them get on with their day wherever possible. Here's a similar situation with a bend this time.
No, because we think we'll fit it in her car.
My viewer even works out that the lorry's not going to be able to negotiate the turn with the vehicles in front, so they hold back. This is so simple in concept, and it surprises me how many people don't get it. The other thing that people don't realise is the hold-up that's happening behind this lorry. The sooner this lorry can clear this obstruction, the sooner everyone can flow.
45.
That's not complicated either. My viewer gets it though.
Okay.
After all good examples, it's about time we looked at a not so good example. My viewer's just entered this road and there are a few potentials for people using the space that they wish to use. The crossing does look clear, there's an oncoming car and there's a car coming out from a side road, and as we get a little bit further up we'll also be able to see a pedestrian waiting to cross. Now watch the movement from the car on the right. The oncoming car turning right is finished, the pedestrian still stood still, but this vehicle to the right has started to move. There's a potential conflict of road space and it's pretty obvious the vehicle to the right hasn't seen my viewer, but my viewer carries on. That last clip was called Near Miss by my viewer, and this one's called No Fuss. I think it's quite interesting seeing bad, then good examples back to back. Don't forget, this thought process of not arriving at the same point at the same time can and should be used if you're motorcycling. And it can and also should be used if you're cycling also. Watch how my viewer changes their speed. That was a cracking bit of riding. But remember, if there's animals involved, it's only you who's going to be able to adjust the speed. Keep safe everyone, and I'll see you soon.